Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Halloween episode of Rangers Initiative. I hope you guys enjoy. You better enjoy, or we'll come after you. What's up, everybody? B-Mac the Z-Ranger here, and I'm calling all Rangers to welcome you to the Rangers Initiative. And today on the Ranger Initiative, like Kylo Ren said, this is a very special episode because this is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween. And since it is Halloween, I'm going to be reviewing the latest episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, episode 21, Hypnotic Halloween. And like I've done before in the past, I'm going to try to make this review very, very short because my reviews for some reason go very long. So I'm going to try to make it very short. So let's get right into it right now. So it starts off with the Rangers, and they're at Grid Battle Force, and they're looking for costumes in this big box that Zoe brought in. And actually, they're not looking for them. They actually already have them on. And Zoe, she's a Viking. Robbie, he's Sherlock Holmes. Nate, he's the doctor of Frankenstein, and still is Frankenstein. No. Frankenstein is the doctor, and the monster is just the monster. He's the monster of Frankenstein. Is that how it is? Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah. Excuse me, I forgot about that. But anyways, the only one missing is Devin, because I guess he doesn't like dressing up or Halloween. So that's the only one that's missing. And while they're doing that, they're getting ready to watch this movie that Nate found. Well, I guess it's a scary movie that he found online, and it's from a streaming site that no one's ever heard of. And he actually even said it's a sketchy streaming site. I'm like, Nate, what do you be looking at on your off time, bruh? What do you be looking at, bruh, to find this site that very, very sketchy? So then they sit down to watch this movie that Nate found, and right when he plays it, you see this hypnotic blue thing come up, and they're already hypnotized because it's Hypnotic Halloween, and it's Scrozzle, and he's on the screen. He tells him, hey, you guys will be the costume that you guys are wearing. So essentially, like we already seen in the preview, like I already did before, Zoe becomes the Viking, Robbie becomes Sherlock Holmes, and Nate still become Dr. Frankenstein and the monster of Frankenstein. And right when that happens, Devin walks in. He's like, what are you guys doing? And he looks at it, he's like, yo, what's going on with the screen? And he noticed that, Scrozzle's on it. And he's like, hey, you guys, what's going on? And they turn around, they have blue eyes, so they're hypnotized. And sure enough, they all get hypnotized, and Zoe runs off doing her thing. And Frankenstein is chasing Nate, through the Grid Battle Force, and Robbie, he's over there, looking for stuff, because he's Sherlock Holmes. But Devin's trying to talk to Robbie, and Robbie's like, you can't talk to me. Only the officer of the law can talk to me. So Devin has the bright idea to, hey, there's this box here full of costumes. Let me dress up as an officer. So we see Nate dress up. We see Devin dress up as an officer. He goes over to Robbie and tells Robbie, hey, Sherlock Holmes, I have a case for you. There's a missing person report. Who is it? Well, his name is Robbie Shaw. Yeah, I think that's his name. I think his last name is Robbie Shaw. Forgive me if it's not Robbie Shaw. I'm just calling him Robbie for short. But he's looking for Robbie, and he starts explaining to Robbie all the things Robbie done, that he used to be scared of the dentist. And also, he actually helped this little kid, the evil one I thought was evil from last episode, helped him with some bullies. So then Robbie realizes that, hey, I'm Robbie. I figured it out. Bam. So now the hypnosis is gone. So as we already seen in the preview, we seen that happen, and we see Devin, he goes to Zoe, he dresses up as a Viking. And this was the funniest part of the episode by far. Had me rolling. But anyways, Devin dresses up as a Viking. He tells Zoe, or Ingrid Ironaxe, I think that was her name, Ingrid Ironaxe, that that, hey, he's here to help her. He comes in peace. She says, no, you're here to take my plunder, So then she ends up throwing an axe at him. And when I was watching on the preview, I'm trying to figure out, how is he gonna get out of that? Then it comes back from commercial, and the axe is coming at me. And I was like, why is Devin not moving? What's going on? And the axe, hits Devin and falls on the ground. I was like, oh yeah, it's fake. Why would they have him walking around with a real axe? So yeah, I thought that was funny to me. Anyways, he ends up capturing Zoe, or Ingrid Ironaxe to be exact, with his Morpher. He ties her up, and he explains to her that, hey, you're a great warrior, because you're just like this warrior I used to know. Her name is Zoe Reeves. And he's telling her story about how, she solves big problems with the first time she became a ranger, and also the time how she apologized to what's his name? Oh yeah, his name Jax. See, and that's another thing too. See, I forgot the Beast Bot's name because they barely show the Beast Bots anymore. I mean, can we get more Beast Bots? I know, Steel is on there. He's a robot / human, but I feel like he's filling up a lot of Beast Bot time. Like if there's any robot that's gonna be in this show, it's gonna be Steel. We bump Jax, Crash, and Cruz. Bump all of them, get them out of the show. It's not enough robot time for them. But anyways, Devin's trying to explain to her that, you know, not only were you a great warrior, that you will apologize very quickly when you did something wrong like you did to Jax. And then she ends up remembering that, hey, I'm Zoe, bam, bam, bam. Right? So now it's Nate and Steel's turn. And you see Steel basically chasing Nate throughout the Grid Battle Force. And Nate is like, you know, because he's Dr. Frankenstein, he's like, get away from me, you're a monster. Ah, you know. Halloween, whatever. So once Robbie ties them up, all of the Rangers, they dress up as doctors and they're trying to convince Nate and Steel that they're brothers. So they start telling them because, you know, Nate is Dr. Frankenstein and Steel is the monster of Frankenstein, and Dr. Frankenstein doesn't like his monster. He doesn't understand how he can create something like that and be friends with it. So they're trying to tell him that we know of two people, of a creator, a creator and creation, and they get along very well. As a matter of fact, they're brothers. So they start explaining to, you know, Nate what happened in the episode where Nate became a Ranger and created Steel as his brother and a Ranger. We seen that already, you know. So then once that happens, they convince, you know, Nate and Steel that they're Nate and Steel again. The hypnosis is worn off, and while this is going on, Scrozzle has another plan. This dude has so many plans, man. He really is the brains behind all these operations. Scrozzle has another plan to get this Morphex, and he has a big truckload of it with this other monster that he created. And then the Rangers, they end up coming and they try to stop them. They end up morphing. They end up fighting ensues. So Scrozzle, he decides to leave and summon the Gigadrone while the Rangers are down there fighting the monster and the Tronics, right? So he summons the Gigadrone, the Rangers notice it, and Robbie's like, you know what, hey, Zoe, Devin, you guys go, I handle this stuff down here. Which I'm like, okay. Now we can see more of the Blue Ranger, see if he can handle some stuff, right? But we'll get to that later. So then they send in the Striker Zord and the Racer Zord. Yeah, the Chopper Zord. The Chopper Zord and the Racer Zord. Which I thought that was funny to me because, like, every time I say the Racer Zord, they always show the Racer Zord in battle mode already. They don't even show him as a car anymore. So I'm like, okay, I guess we're not going to see the car anymore. But they show him in Battle Zord, and you see them, they go to the monster, they start fighting the monster, and then Devin does like a slash at the monster, and what all it does is brings out another monster, and Devin's like, oh, this is a Delta model. So I'm like, hold up, a Delta model? When did that happen? You know, I guess I missed something in, you know, the previous episode, but I guess this is a Delta model, and they're a lot stronger than the regular Gigadrones that usually come, right? While that's going on, so it's 2 against 2. Is the 2 monsters and against the Racer Zord and the Chopper Zord, Zoe and Devin, and everything. I guess it's too much for them right now, so they need the Megazord. So Ravi has to come, but Ravi's down there. He's trying to fight the monster, and he's about to get dogged out. And then you see Nate is like, bam, no, bam. I got this. You go help your friends up there. So Robbie's like, cool. So he goes up there. Then he get his Gorilla Zord, and they try to form, and they form the Megazord. And it's funny, like I said before, I think it's an ingenious thing that they have in Power Rangers Beast Morphers, that when they form the Megazord, a huge shield comes over them, so if the monster try to fire missiles or anything at them, it won't hit them. And that's exactly what happened. The monster tried to fire something at them, it didn't hit the monster. As a matter of fact, it backfired. It bounced off the shields and hit the monster. So I'm like, that's still an ingenious idea. That's like, to me, that's reality. If there were a real Power Rangers, we need that, you know, a shield. So when they form the Megazord, right? So the Megazord is formed, and while they're down there, you know, while the Megazord's fighting the monsters, and mind you, I've said before that the Megazord is undefeated. He's undefeated. But in this episode, he took an L. I'm sorry, but this Megazord, he took an L because I guess these are the Delta models, so they're way stronger than the other Gigadrones, obviously, because they defeated the Megazord like it was nothing. So then Nate and Steel, they're down there. They take care of the monster down there, led by Nate. And then Nate and Steel, they call their Zords up. And they start doing their thing. Nate is leading the charge. I felt like this was just well, you know what? Let me not say it right now. I'll get to that at the end. But man, Nate is really leading the charge. He first takes care of one monster. He throws him to Robbie. Robbie ends up blowing him up. Then his Zord, the Master Zord, goes into battle mode. I'm like, I didn't even know he had a battle mode. Like, where did that come from? So he ends up doing his thing. He gets in battle mode, and it still gets on there with his like jet type plane thing. He fires it at the monster, ends up destroying the monster. So Nate pretty much led the charge on the ground with the regular monster and in their Zords. I'm like, yo, Nate was balling this episode. He was just balling. So then it goes back to the Rangers there at the Grid Battle Force, and you know, they're in their costumes and everything. All of a sudden you see a ninja come in, and they're like, you know, get all scared, but it's Devin. He's like, I thought you didn't like dressing up. He's like, you know what? After all the stuff he did in this episode, he likes doing it now. So it's fun now. So that's how the episode goes off. So here are my thoughts about this episode. And I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I think this was probably one of the most perfect Halloween episodes by far. And here's the reason why. Because the episode starts off, it gets right into it. There's like no, other stuff going on. It gets right into it. He's like, hey, the hypnotic stuff happens literally within 5 minutes of the episode. And I'm like, yo, get to start it off really cool. And also they found a way to mix in humor with action, because like I said earlier with Nate, he dominated the second half of the episode. But the first half of the episode was dominated by Devin. Devin did the heavy lifting in the first part of the episode, and Nate did the heavy lifting in the second part of the episode. So they did a great job of mixing. Let's get the episode started off, and let's mix in humor, action. And the action, I swear, it lasted so long, and that's what I love about this episode, because the action was really long. Usually it's like happened really short, but they just like, oh, once the hypnosis was over, hey, yo, go morph, go get Scrazzle, go get the monster, then fight the Tronics, get the Gigadrone, fight them, done. And I was like, yo, I love this episode. Even though, yes, I was a little disappointed that the Megazord finally lost. But it was bound to happen because he was super OP, and now they got these Delta model Gigadrones that are just putting in mad work. So, yeah.
He gonna get this work. He gonna get this work.
This was just a great episode. I think it was better than the last episode. I think it's been better than the last, I guess, 2 or 3 episodes. Not to say those two or 3 episodes weren't good. They were good, but this episode I felt was just perfect. It was just a great episode. If I had to rate this episode as far as like 5 Power Ranger lightning bolts, I would give it a 4 out of 5 lightning bolts. 4 out of 5 lightning bolts. That's what I would give it, because this was just a great episode, and it was a Halloween special, and they just did a great job in it. So yeah, like, wow. So I really hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. Oh yeah, one thing I want to show you guys. Bam! Look what I got. So I am going to be reading this sometime this week, and I may do a comic review on this if you guys want me to. I just may put it out anyway, because if it's really good, then I'm going to do a review on it. If it's not, I probably won't, but most likely I probably am going to do a review on this. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you guys did, feel free to like, share, and that button right there, go ahead and subscribe and click that notification bell. Also, you see the videos right over here. Go ahead and click these videos for more Power Ranger content that I'm putting out every single week. All right? And remember, greatness within you. Let's bring it out together. I'm out. Peace. The Ranger Initiative has already begun.